Hi, this is Mr. Enders. This is the first video that I'm going to release. I'm going to be releasing a video for every lesson we do. It's kind of just a highlight of the big main concepts that you need to get from the lesson that we cover in class. So this is section 1.1, graphing practice. So this first lesson, I just want to go over the kind of the basic concepts of when we have a graph and when we have a grid, how do we fill it out. All right. So the first main thing I need to realize is that when we graph, we have two main axes, an x-axis and a y-axis. All right. X values are going to go horizontally. Y values are going to go vertically. All right. Now that we know where the x and y axes are, we're going to label our quadrants. All right. Quadrant 1, 2, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. All right. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4, and within each quadrant we need to know whether is x positive, is x negative, what is the combination, all right? So in quadrant 1, when you have an x and y point, any point, so it's right there, we know that x is going to be a positive number, y is also going to be a positive number. When we're in quadrant 2, an x comma y point, we know if this is 0, we're going to the left of 0, we know that this number itself needs to be negative, okay? But the y value, though, is still vertically above 0, so we know that y needs to be positive. Quadrant 3, an xy point, we know is to the left of 0 horizontally and is below 0 vertically, so this is going to be the opposite of quadrant 1, so it's going to be a negative x value, a negative y value. All right, our very last combination over here, an x comma y point in quadrant 4, is going to have a positive x value and a negative y value. Now that we know where the quadrants are and we know the values for x and y, whether they're positive or negative, we can actually go ahead and plot some of these points. All right, this first point I'm going to graph is this one right here, the 2 comma 4. All right, so if I'm going to graph 2 comma 4, I know my x value needs to be 2 and my y value needs to be 4. So what I'm going to do is here, again, this is my x-axis and my y-axis. What I'm going to do, I'm going to find 2's right here on the x and a 4 for y. That's going to be my first point. 2 comma 4. Okay. Next one is negative 3 comma negative 3. So I know it needs to be to the left negative 3 and down negative 3. All right, there's that one. Last one is 2 comma negative 1. I know it's to the right 2, down 1. So I'm going to make it that right there. All right. So you're responsible for knowing if I give you a point, can you locate it on the coordinate grid? Next, I have this situation where I'm given the equation for a function, all right? In this case, my function is going to be y equals x minus 2, all right? A couple things that we need to be able to talk to. The shape. What does it look like, okay? The shape, meaning if we were to plot these points, what would the actual shape turn out to be, okay? What is the x-intercept? What is the... At this point, we have this problem where we have y equals x minus 2. The big thing here is being able to graph this function, tell me the shape, and tell me the x-intercept, tell me the y-intercept. All right. So with x minus 2, what I did is I made this table from x values negative 2 all the way to positive 2. And when I plug that into the function itself, remember the function is going to give you the output of that y value. I get negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. And this can go on and on and on. When I plot this, I get this line. All right? When I ask you what the shape is, the answer would be, well, it looks like an arrow, it's kind of straight. This is a line or a linear function. The x-intercept is going to be when it crosses the x-axis, so it's going to be at this point 2, 0. The y-axis, or sorry, the y-intercept is going to be when it crosses the y-axis at 0, comma, -2.